Hey guys, this is Max with Pure Power Solar, and today I have a comparison for you, and that comparison is with three different solar generators. So we have the 500X, which recently came out, and about 6 months ago, um, late like spring of 2020, and then we are going to compare the 500X to the YETI 400 Lithium and the YETI 400. Um, let's get into it real quick, and I'll just briefly overview each generator real quick. The main idea of this video is to just make sure you guys can figure out which one is right for you. They all have different capabilities, and there's also a lot of similarities as well, but there's prices, there's differences, and all that. And then also, I want to go ahead and just give an outline and a background of each one before getting to the final point, which would be to figure out which one is best for you. I'll give my opinion on what is best for me, and then I'll try and help you guys figure out which one's best for you if you're looking to find something like this. All right, so the first one, I'm going to go by order of release as said here, and this is the YETI 400. So the 400 came out in the early Goal Zero stages of the company. I don't know exactly a year when it came out, but it was the first to come out of the three solar generators I'm talking about today. I want to say it came out maybe, and I'm guessing 6 to 8 years ago, but it doesn't mean that it's not a good solar generator. It just has a different battery, which I'll get into in a second. The next one here is the 400 Lithium, and I'll give a better view for you. 400 Lithium is basically a remake of the 400, or maybe a refurbished version. That's not the right word, but I hope you get what I mean. It comes with a new style of battery, and then there's also some other features in it that make it a little more advanced than the standard YETI 400. And that came out maybe 4 years ago, I think. I'm just guessing. And then we have the 500X, which just recently came out. And the 500X is lighter. It has the same battery as the 400 Lithium, but there's a few features that make it stand out a little more than the YETI 400 Lithium. All right, so we'll go into capacity real quick, and we can see here that the battery capacity of the YETI 400 is just under 400 watt hours. The 400 Lithium is about 430 watt hours, and the 500X is just about 500 watt hours of battery power. So very similar there, but the 500X definitely takes the lead there. Pretty obvious. And then go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of my future videos if you like what I have to offer. And just like my videos, go ahead and check them out. Otherwise, I have the full article as well below, which gets into a few more things that I won't mention in this video, but for the most part, you'll get most of that information here. So for the battery type, we have the, oh, it's not going to do it. So let's stick here. We have the YETI 400, which has an AGM lead acid battery. I don't know what most people think about lead acid versus lithium ion batteries, but lithium ion is definitely a better battery, but lead acid is not a bad battery. I mean, most car batteries are lead acid. I don't think there's any that are lithium ion that I know of, but it's still a great battery. And then the next two, the lithium and the 500X, they both have lithium ion batteries. So here we'll get into the ports of each one. So this will just help understand which one is right for who. And the ports are the most important, I think, and then the battery is most important than the ports, just so you know what you're buying. So the first one, we have the inputs. So the input on the upper left is the standard charging port, and then on the bottom here we have these two hexagon-shaped ports are actually for the Goal Zero's proprietary, the Light-A-Lifes, I think is what they're called. So those are Goal Zero's own ports. And then we have the big car port right next to it. In the middle here, we have the two USB ports. They're both USB-A. I'm not sure the exact, I think it's amps. I'm not sure, but it's just a standard USB-A since this came out a while back. And that's important to keep in mind because there's no USB-C. And then we have two AC outlets. Now the AC outlets, they have the continuous output is 300 watts. So that should be able to charge most things and maybe run a fan while charging things, stuff like that. And then the surge power is 600 watts. So if you're looking to do something real quick, quick charge, use a blender or something like that, you should be fine with 600 watts of surge. And then also, I'll go back to this full screen. On the bottom here, we have the Anderson Power Pole chaining port. What that means is that you can connect other lithium ion, actually I'm not sure about lithium ion, but definitely lead acid batteries. You can connect them via the 2 chaining ports on each side of the generator. Excuse me, I'm just getting a drink. Each side of the, if you look at the screen, or the front part with all the ports, on each side of the generator, there are these chaining ports. And so you can connect batteries on each side. And there's one guy on YouTube that has the actual setup where he chained a few lithium ion batteries or lead acid batteries on each side. And so he has a massive amount of power. And he probably paid a lot less money. I think he mentions he paid way less money than if you were to get a full suited, like big YETI generator or something like that. So it's something to keep in mind when you're thinking of buying something from Goal Zero, seeing if you could chain it. Now the next 2, you cannot chain any other batteries to it. So we'll get into the YETI 400 lithium right here. So the left-hand side is the input. We have the proprietary on just to the right of that, and then the big carport. The screen is a nice LED or LCD screen. We have on the bottom here, which is different from the YETI 400, we have the 2 USB-A outputs, and then on the right here, that one all the way to the right, I believe that's a quick charge USB-A, and then a USB-C on the left-hand side, which is very important since I think a lot of modern technologies like phones and things like that are going to the USB-C system of charging. So that's something to consider in the future. If you buy this now, is it going to support the different outputs that the generator has in connection with your devices? And then we have the standard 2 AC outputs, and you can see it. I don't know if you can see it on the bottom here, but it says 300 watts continuous, and then it has a 1200 watt surge, which is double the surge of the YETI 400. So if you have certain things that you're looking to surge power with, that's something to keep in mind. But also, it's not something that should really be a deciding factor, in my opinion, because when you're surging something, it's not going to be for a long time. I mean, there's very special circumstances, I think, where you would need to have that massive amount of surge power. But if you're really looking to have a lot of surge power or more power, I definitely consider checking out some other videos of mine or looking at larger solar generators than the ones that I'm reviewing today. And then this is the last port overview of the 500X. Now the 500X, very similar to the 400 lithium, except for this bottom part with the USBs. We could see the clear distinctions here. So the USB-C power delivery, and then the USB-C standard right here. And then we have 2 USB-As right in the middle. That's important, and that's probably what a lot of people are going to end up using this for, is for charging iPads or iPhones or other phones, devices like that. But in addition, we also have the same continuous and surge outputs with the AC ports on the way right-hand side. So 300 watts continuous, 1200 watts surge if you need it. And then in addition, the charging inputs, and if you guys know the distinguish or can distinguish why there's 2 inputs. There's one in the front, and then there's also one in the back of the 500X. And as far as I know, you can't use them both at once. I don't know why they have that there. I really don't. So if anyone knows, let me know in the comments, and that would just help clean the air with what's going on with that. But there's 2 inputs for charging, and yeah, it's kind of a funky feature of that. And then we'll get to price here. So the price of the 400 is just under $450. The 400 lithium is $600, and then the 500X is $700. So my opinion on the price here, I think the 500X is way overpriced. For example, I just looked at the Explorer 500 from Jackery, and it's $200 less. It has the same amount of battery capacity, and it's way less money. Now, the 500X probably has some other pretty awesome features in it, so I'm not going to totally degrade it. But if you're looking for value, I would recommend the Jackery 500 or another solar generator that is 500 watt hours, because Goal Zero is way overpriced, in my opinion. Now, there's a lot of great things about Goal Zero that you're paying for when you're paying a premium, but you get a lot of quality, probably the best quality or one of the best qualities. And then also the 500X has MPPT charge controller, which is really good for solar charging. And also, just for reference, the 400 Lithium has a PWM charge controller, and the 400, I don't know, it didn't say on the website, so I'm guessing it's PWM. It's definitely not MPPT, but it didn't specify in the whatever specifications in the Goal Zero website. So not quite sure about that, but it's definitely overpriced when you get to like newer equipment. So I'd either hold it out if you were going to buy the 500X, or if you really could use it, then try it out and see if you like it. I think there's a 30 to 60 day return policy. There's also a warranty, I think up to 2 years on all these generators. So Goal Zero does a great job of that. And yeah, so which one is best for you? Now we get to the final point here. So first off, I'll talk about what I think is best for me. So I don't go camping all the time. I don't use my solar generator a lot. I have a smaller one, the 200X, and I just use it to charge phones. And we actually just had a power outage a few days ago, and I just use it to keep our devices charged, and it worked fine. That's all I really use it for. But if I were to have something a little bigger, I would definitely choose the YETI 400. And the reason why is because it's great value. You're getting a lead acid battery, and you can buy a replacement one. The YETI 400 Lithium and the 500X, I don't think you can get a replacement battery. I think you have to actually send it all the way back to Goal Zero for them to refurbish or replace the battery. And I don't even know if they do that. So you can replace batteries in the 400, and then it does weigh more, but weight isn't really a problem. It weighs about 26 to 29 pounds for the 400, and then it gets significantly less in weight. So the 400 Lithium is 16 pounds, and then the 500X is, I think, just under 13 pounds. So if you're looking for something light and maneuverable, that's definitely why Goal Zero made the 500X. It's not necessarily for chaining a bunch of batteries together like I would do with a 400 if I bought it. It's definitely for people who are looking for something quick and who are on the go a lot. So particularly like camping or something like that, or tailgating, something quick and portable. So that is my opinion on these. Let me know what you guys think. If anyone has one of these, let me know how you like it. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and take care. And don't forget to subscribe if you like it, and click the link in the description below for my full review, where I go over the understanding of battery capacity, the charge times for the batteries, and then also what they can power. I give some examples there. And that's all I have for you guys. So take care, and I'll see you soon.